Imagine waking up in a coffin, buried, breathless, and with no idea how you got there. Someone put you there, and if you're alive, that someone probably isn't finished with you yet. Welcome to the world of slashers. In a genre packed with brooding anti-heroes and elaborate origin stories, standing out usually takes a tragic past or a burning need for revenge. But every now and then, one breaks the mold. No tragic past, no excuses, just pure, polished brutality. That's ChromeSkull, from Laid to Rest. Not much is known about his identity. Masked men do tend to keep things private, but that's exactly why we're here, to take a closer look at the life and legend of ChromeSkull. What was he like? Where did he come from? And more importantly, is there a way you can actually escape him? Let's find out. Before we get into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
They're coming!
Oh yeah? Well, you'll be dead by then.
The man behind the mask. First appearing in 2009, Jesse Chromians, better known as ChromeSkull, is the main antagonist of Laid to Rest and his 2011 sequel, ChromeSkull, Laid to Rest 2. And while he's not big on introductions or showing his face, his signature skull mask does all the talking. It's not just a fashion choice, it's what sets him apart in a crowd of horror villains. Now, he's not your regular psycho either. Someone who's more of a walking nightmare with an almost cinematic obsession. As said before, there's no deep-rooted revenge story behind his rampage. For him, killing is art. He meticulously records all his victims screaming and shouting to gawk at it later as entertainment. Somebody share their Netflix with this guy. Apart from his mask, what makes him stand out is the silent treatment he'll give you. You know, because he's mute. If he ever wants to communicate, he'll use the audio recording of his victims in the most unhinged way, like they're nothing more than sound bites to him. And when he catches you, don't expect a clean, merciful kill. He loves to use his twin hunting knives to slice through bodies with almost brutal precision. If you're wondering what the law enforcement are doing, you must know that Jesse Chromians is a wealthy, powerful man. In fact, he's not even doing this alone. This guy has created a network of people backing him up, almost like an organization that helps him kill or even recover when he gets too close to death. Backstory. Little is known about this man, but we know that he is a resident of Jacksonville, Florida, and wears a disguise all the time. Operating in the southeastern US during the late 2000s, he specifically targeted young women as his targets and recorded their last moments on his camera. He meticulously planned these attacks to ensure no one slips from his grasp. ChromeSkull definitely had some kind of arrangement with the funeral director, Mr. Jones, because he provided him with a space. He used the coffin construction building adjacent to the Jones funeral home to conduct his murders.
Help me! Help!
Blood and Blades. ChromeSkull's reign of terror in Laid to Rest, 2009. Laid to Rest wastes no time throwing us into a waking nightmare. The film opens with a woman, later referred to only as the girl, waking up inside a coffin. She has no memory of who she is or how she got there. Before she even has time to panic, she senses something watching her from the shadows. Enter ChromeSkull, towering, silent, and masked in chrome-plated menace. He doesn't charge in, he waits. He lets the fear fester, and once it's fully bloomed, the hunt begins. This perfectly sets the tone for ChromeSkull's twisted style. It's not just about the kill, it's about the dread before it. Psychological torture is part of the thrill. The girl stumbles through the funeral home in the dead of night, disoriented, while ChromeSkull stalks her every move, recording everything on his shoulder-mounted camera like he's shooting his own horror masterpiece. One especially brutal moment comes when a kind stranger picks her up in his car. They barely have time to exchange words before ChromeSkull slashes through the window and stabs the man to death in seconds. The girl escapes, barely, and with a chilling realization. This isn't just a killer, it's a predator. ChromeSkull eliminates anyone who stands in his way. A gas station attendant? Dead. Face sliced clean open with that signature hunting knife. Then there's Tucker, a man who tries to protect the girl. ChromeSkull captures and tortures him, slicing through tendons and leaving him to bleed out. It's clinical, like an autopsy done with pride. The message is clear. ChromeSkull doesn't just kill, he savors the suffering. But unlike many slasher villains, ChromeSkull isn't invincible. He takes real damage. When the girl and her unlikely allies begin to fight back, one of them, Tommy, actually wounds him. It's a rare moment of vulnerability that opens a small window for escape. In the final confrontation, ChromeSkull faces off against the girl and a local man named Steven. She uses her environment against him, luring him into a trap. And even after being stabbed, shot, and burned with acid, ChromeSkull keeps coming, like death itself wearing a mask. When she finally cracks his skull open with a bat, revealing a deformed face beneath, he still reaches for his knives. That killer instinct, it never fades. But this time, the girl finishes the job. Or does she? The ending leaves things ambiguous. Of course, you can't keep a slasher like ChromeSkull down with something as trivial as death. Despite its low budget, Lay to Rest impressed horror fans with brutal practical effects and a committed performance by Nick Princip as ChromeSkull. He even performed many of his own stunts. The chrome mask was a practical prop too. Originally bulkier, it was later refined to enhance his eerie glow-in-the-dark settings. A smart design choice that helped turn him into a modern horror icon. ChromeSkull, Laid to Rest 2, 2011, bigger and bloodier. The film picks up immediately after the first Laid to Rest, where we had ChromeSkull barely clinging to life. His face mutilated, body broken, the guy is in total shambles. In fact, for a moment there, it seems like his killing spree is finally over. But then, a group of operatives arrives and sweeps in with medical personnel to retrieve him. This is the exact moment we realize ChromeSkull isn't just some lone psychopath. We got it all wrong. This guy is actually part of something much bigger. There's a whole organization out there that doesn't just have his back or clean up after his mess. They are the people ensuring his legacy continues. While he's taken to a secret location for emergency treatment, his second-in-command, Preston, steps into the spotlight. You see, Preston idolizes ChromeSkull to an almost obsessive degree. With ChromeSkull out of commission for a short while, he grabs the opportunity to take the reins and even attempts to carry out killings in a similar style. But hey, he's no ChromeSkull. He lacks the precision it takes to go through with it, cause how can you match the original, who's proven to be an absolute menace? Preston's methods are a mess. ChromeSkull had an almost artistic approach to his murders, but his first copy falls short and is seen to be often impulsive and desperate for approval. This usually happens when an icon of terror is replaced by someone who doesn't fully understand what made them effective. Meanwhile, ChromeSkull undergoes an excruciating recovery process. His face is surgically reconstructed, leaving the scars behind, but even at a reduced, vulnerable state, his presence looms over the entire film. The filmmakers wanted every wound, every stitch on his face to tell a story reinforcing the idea that ChromeSkull is a self-made monster. The moment he regains his strength, he wastes no time making it clear who's in charge. It's one of the more satisfying moments in the film, when ChromeSkull finally decides he's had enough of Preston playing copycat, and, in an absolutely savage display of dominance, we see him hunt Preston down. So that's that. He butchers him. Honestly, that's a hard-boiled way of saying there can only be one ChromeSkull. This scene also stands out because it reinforces the idea that ChromeSkull is a perfectionist. If someone can't meet his standards, they don't deserve to live. It's as simple as that. Jess, the film's new protagonist, finds herself in a situation similar to the girl from the first film. She wakes up with no memory of how she got there, like the next piece in the Twisted game. The organization uses women like her as offerings to please ChromeSkull. At what point did this turn into a weird cult, or was it always like that? It's very clear that the people behind the scenes are not just mere facilitators, they are terrified of ChromeSkull themselves. They better be, considering what happened to Preston. But despite their control over his operations, ChromeSkull remains unpredictable. As Jess fights for her life, she crosses paths with Detective King, the guy investigating disappearances linked to ChromeSkull. His role adds an element of detective noir to the film as he peels back the layers of the conspiracy surrounding the operations. The deeper he digs, the more he finds out about the system. The final confrontation sees ChromeSkull in full force, proving why he is one of the most relentless slashers in modern horror. Jess and Detective King make a last stand to put an end to him once and for all. But like any true slasher film, ChromeSkull refuses to die even when he's wounded. The film makes it clear that this is not the end, and the organization covers up his tracks to make sure he survives to see another day. I guess as long as the organization exists, ChromeSkull will never truly be gone. ChromeSkull. Appearance, mindset, and skills. Appearance. Everything about him, from his attire to his killing methods, screams, "I love my job." His black coat, gloves, and pants give him a sleek, almost professional look, while his signature plated skull mask protects his mystery. Recording skills. Pretty obvious he's a sadist, cause why else would you immortalize the pain of your victims? And unlike other killers who operate in the shadows, ChromeSkull is all about visibility, at least for himself. His shoulder-mounted camera mainly serves two purposes: to relive his murders and to reinforce his need for control. One of the most unsettling moments in Lay to Rest is when a victim stumbles upon his collection of footage, each clip more disturbing than the last. In that sense, the camera becomes a part of his identity. High intelligence. We get a glimpse of his high intelligence in the movie when he is seen cutting off his victims' escape routes and using psychological intimidation to break them down. Another one of the most telling examples is when he sends a fake distress call from a victim's phone to lure unsuspecting people into his trap. Great durability. For someone who takes so much damage, ChromeSkull keeps coming back like a machine. For instance, at the end of Lay to Rest, his face is brutally torn apart, and yet he survives. Lay to Rest 2 further dives into the extent of his resilience as he undergoes extensive surgery to reconstruct his face, all while enduring an excruciating amount of pain in the recovery process. The gunshot wounds, the stab injuries, nothing stopping this man, cause he's proven to be a force of nature. Great strength. ChromeSkull loves to overpower his kills, all with that brute strength. It's fairly evident in the scene when he smashes a victim's head into a car window, forcefully enough for the glass to shatter instantly. In another moment of part 2, we see him physically lifting a man off the ground right before driving his twin hunting knives into his chest. Marvelous verdict. ChromeSkull is a slasher villain unlike any other, with some high-tech stuff, intelligence, and the sheer love to kill makes him one of the most terrifying killers in modern history. From his sleek, skull-plated mask to his favorite camera, everything about him is designed to intimidate his kills, and the Lay to Rest franchise only solidifies this legend. But what do you think? Does ChromeSkull deserve a place among horror's greatest killers? And while we're at it, what other deep dives should we do next? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss our next horror deep dive. Until next time, stay safe and maybe avoid funeral homes.